Alrighty. Man, maybe the last time for that intro. Eh,
It just might be. Who would like to recap what happened last time?
We were a
previously.
squid, and then we beat up the squids. With the squid, we did brain surgery on the Tarask.
Squidded.
Accurate. The squid got squoed.
Yeah. You destroyed the brain that was Cerebro that was attached to the Tarask. The Tarask fell down. So you can see him way down below. After he dropped and thudded right on top of a. You had chosen to teleport right above a green dragon's horde. So that's what he fell on top of. And one of the evil yous is dead. The other three are knocked out. And we finished last session. I think nearly everybody should be over near this black pool area, which initially was seen as a device that could reprogram people, but then also was discovered that it also had the power to be a teleportation circle, essentially. And who knows what else it can do? But that's what you've gathered. And so we finished off with Ronan and Hunter giving their goodbyes as the two of them were heading off to the underground city, the underwater city, the capital of the very empire itself, and they were going to go nuke it.
I'm no longer here.
So right after that, right after they blip out of here, what's the next thing you guys want to do? I know that there is Jasper killed one of these people and is extremely upset that the love of his life, that he did not confess that love to until after she was dead, stayed dead, was not able to be revivified. And then you have 3 reprogrammed people that could possibly use some reprogramming.
We should probably go back to the order, right?
We need to report back to them. We need to report back to our group. And kind of seems like our new friend over there could use a little help now that his monk partner is gone.
Well, before we do anything, can we try these reprogramming pods? I mean, I know they're all knocked out, but I don't know if you guys know this or not. It's really bad for you if you're knocked out.
Well, it would certainly be better than doing the blood ritual for every one of them.
I was about to say, Sosha's back at the order, but that would be a long, long day.
Yeah.
I don't know if she would have it in her to do that many either. Well, for the living ones at least.
Yeah, you also gathered that this reprogramming one looked a lot more advanced than the one that was in the basement of Fort Moltra.
Is there just like a put back to factory settings? Is that an option?
Probably not. You're probably gonna need to finagle it a bit. Her memories. Well, I guess if you who's gonna like hook themselves up to the computer part of it and see what's going on, I'd need an Arcana check.
Either Rain or myself. Maybe
What's
Rain.
your plus?
Mine's a +9. I think
I
yours
have a
is slightly better.
+6 advantage.
Yeah, you take it.
Okay.
If it doesn't work, Chimera can always tinker with it. She's got good tinkering skills. Alright, yeah, Rain, you're able to realize a number of things. One, if you were to put her in the black goo area, it can kind of connect with the ship itself, and you can start to look through her memories and stuff, and you see that it's completely jumbled up. You don't see any of her initial memories. They're kind of buried deep down or overwritten. And you also are able to tell that there are little pools along the side that connect to kind of the larger piece where people could lay down. Theoretically, there could have been other prisoners and such where you lay them down in these little areas and their minds connect in. You can start kind of pulling memories from different places. So it's possible, with the help of people who have memories of her, you could start piecing her back together a bit, but it's gonna take some work.
Well, I mean, Raina will let everybody know. She doesn't have as many memories of her, so she
Yeah,
can
Rain
operate
could
it.
work the machinery while other people are getting in there and assisting with their memories of her.
Well, Audrey, you were close friends with her in school.
More or less.
And obviously, I grew up with her, so I think it's worth a shot.
Alright, so the way I'm going to do this is a little different than the way we would do a Revivify. I'm going to allow one person who can justify using the help action to grant advantage, then anybody else who can justify being able to help can grant an additional +1.
Okay. And what is the roll itself is what?
The
Sorry.
roll itself will be an Arcana check made by Rain.
Okay.
I do make all my Arcana checks at advantage anyway.
You make all Arcana checks at advantage?
Yeah,
Must be
that's
the
what
room,
the
right?
necklace of the Storm Room. gave me was.
Oh, okay. Well, then Ryan could just add an additional +1 instead of advantage then.
Can we make it a +2 if I'm also getting in there? Because I do have the history.
Yeah, for everybody who helps, it's an additional +1. So you could pile on if anybody's got memories of her that they want to share. I was seeing if anybody wanted to RP out anything in particular that like they wanted to share a memory of her or something.
I mean, I think, without RPing it out, I think Anwar would be like, just give all the different times they grew up together where they'd fight for the last of the, last of the spicy food, or growing up together, or like, brother sister memories, things like that. And he would recount everything that happened during the campaign, talking about tracking down the family and being afraid that they would be lost, and finding them and bringing them back home and getting them to safety, and also getting them involved in the fight.
And in terms of fights, I think Audra would probably think about a time in school when like Audra got into a physical fight with somebody, or like maybe like punched away a boy that was like creeping on Opal at some point.
Okay. Does anybody else have any memories of her, even if they're more recent or anything else? Kamira, would Kamira help with this, or would she just stay back?
It's recounting like the resolve that she had when she made her choice to stay with the madam, to like contribute to this fight and like in the network and everything like that. It's just recounting that.
So, Audra, as you're beginning to let other people sit in the little pools of water, and you're having their memories kind of collect through and stuff as they're kind of pushing memories into her, and you're kind of taking some out, is there any kind of decision you have over what memories you're taking away from her? Just like there were memories that you were discussing if you wanted to take away from Keon or take away from Rain?
I mean, that's something I would consult with Anwar about, I'm sure.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to retcon a little bit. But before you started doing this, Anwar, what was your wish for what she keeps and what she loses?
I would just say bring her back as she was. In terms of having memories of killing our parents?
Yeah.
I mean,
really anything with Cerebro. Like, is there any of it you want to keep, any of it you want to get rid of?
it's like, the thing is that she's gonna want to know what happened to our parents.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as we know, they are dead. So, I guess...
Man,
We could lie and say that Cerebro's forces killed our parents, which they technically did.
I mean, does
But
anyone else know that it was specifically her other than us?
I don't
We
think so.
watched it, didn't we? Like, I'm
Besides us.
pretty sure it was. Yeah, like.
Right, but I'm saying other than our crew. Like,
But what
is
if,
it? Yeah, that would be my thought.
hypothetically, at some point in your life, when you're talking with your sister around breakfast or something, or there's gonna be a fight that breaks out between y'all, and that slips out, and it's like, oh shit, you lied to me. I did what?
Yeah.
Like,
Or you get into an argument, and you're like, well, at least I didn't kill mom, and kill the
like,
power yesterday.
Person that killed our parents says what?
yeah.
Oh man.
Oops, motherfucker.
No, I think I'm just gonna have I think we're gonna have when Cerebro picked her up and waking up right now. We're just gonna say the rest of that in between got lost in transit.
Okay. As you're working on all of that, starting to take memories out, put memories in, Rain, right above you, there's going to be a circle of fire that appears right over your head and like just to the left of you. And falling out of it is Hunter, who lands down on the ground right next to you.
Hello?
Having just witnessed a bomb being placed and Ronan making a thing of fire and pushing you through it, Hunter, what do you say? Still muted.
Yeah, whatever you're saying, we can't hear, Andrew.
I should probably unmute. Man, portals do a weird thing to your guts. Oh man, are we live?
Ronan's just gonna you're just gonna like look up as the portal is there, and Ronan's like, alright, 2 more seconds, buddy! And then the portal closes up.
I mean, I thought he was coming with us, but alright. Hey guys, how we doing?
Oh, right. We're trying to help Anwa's sister. Are you alright?
I should probably lay down. I lost a lot of blood today. But I'm alive. Yeah. I gotta retire early. I think I'm gonna make some life decisions when we're all done with this.
Well, in the meantime, Rain, you see that as many pieces as you're getting together with memories, it's unlocking more parts of her. So if Hunter has anything to add, you might be able to unlock even further parts of her.
If you want to lay down and help us with rebuilding, you can lay down on one of these pods. Need memories of her.
We'll do that. Yeah. You said this is Sorsha?
No, this is Opal. This is Anwar's sister, which I don't know how many memories of you had with her earlier, but you certainly met her a few times throughout the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're roughly around the same age, so it's possible that you had some interactions with each other in STEM Garden too growing up.
Yeah. I'm gonna flash back to days of Maban's past, where, you know, there's hay rides and pumpkin picking and just festival stuff, and the fun stuff as kids when it was simple and there weren't wars and death everywhere and just all the awful.
Alright. So, Rain, you get to do an Arcana check, add advantage, plus an additional 4.
Okay, so +4 to whatever this is. Crackling on my side?
Yeah, there's
there's
mic crackle.
crackling
I don't know if
there.
it's coming from Discord or from your setup, but FYI.
Like only when I talk, or
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
All
20
right.
plus 4, 24.
24, nice. Okay, so after doing all of that, Opal is going to open her eyes with 1 HP
Mhm.
and look at you all with a bit of confusion, but familiar. She seems to recognize each of you. She's just gonna say, Anwar, what are we doing here? What is this place?
It's okay. It's okay. Just you might want to just lie down for a bit. You've been through a lot.
Okay, can I lie down somewhere other than this icky black goo?
Yeah, I haven't seen any beds. Do we have any, guys? Do we have any dry beds? I just see a lot of gooey thing. Yeah, let's get you up. Let's get you up.
How dry?
We're in a structure that has like sphincters for doorways. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do not see any dry beds anywhere. You see stasis pods upstairs, that's about it.
I wouldn't recommend it.
We could double down. I've got an oil of slipperiness we can throw on there.
Maybe they cancel
Um,
out.
Real nasty.
She seems a bit hazy. It's hard to say if she's 100% back to what she was, but she seems pretty there. She seems pretty good, all in all.
It's good to have you back.
And it's also encouraging that she doesn't seem to have any recognition of what this place is or anything else. She's like, why am I wearing this stuff? Did you put me in armor?
It's a long story. I'll tell you another day.
Okay, can we go home?
Yeah, I think we can do that.
I really need to see Mom and Dad right now.
Yeah. Let's you know what? Let's get one of the stasis pod rooms. Let's just talk for a little bit.
Okay. All right, so Anwar goes off and talks there, and then the rest of you guys are like, oh, there's a fake Chimera and a fake Hunter that we don't really know. Hunter might know the fake Hunter a little bit because he was also a Resistance member. But even he was from like kind of a faction that was known for traveling a lot, so even then Hunter might not know him very well at all. So it's just kind of, you're stuck there with a couple of unconscious strangers for the most part.
Now that there's like a moment of like to pause and take a breath, Audra's probably looking at her dead clone, just very not quite knowing how to process that, because hers is definitely dead and we're beyond revivify point now. So
Yeah.
she's just trying to stare down at like her own body on the floor, basically.
She was smited like right in half, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, right from the shoulder downwards. She doesn't look exactly like you, but it is another furball about your size with similar color hair.
You know, for a long time I thought I might end up going the same route. Well, at least she can't do any more harm. And whatever sort of internal struggle she was having with what she wanted to do versus what Cerebro was making her do, at least that's over, I suppose. If we're going
This might
to...
not be the right time or place, but I mean, if you were gonna consider faking your own death and changing lives, now's a good opportunity. About the best you're gonna get, I think.
You're not wrong.
No, you're both wrong. I would absolutely say so much about this.
I don't quite have a desire to do that anymore.
Your mother doesn't. Oh wait, never mind. Your mom.
My uncle's the only survivor, and he's in a mental facility, so it would not be great to be like, by the way.
Just gonna back up.
Yeah.
Just gonna
Well, last you heard, he was like, I'm gonna go join the Resistance
That's
and
true,
fight
that's
this Tarask.
That's true.
You haven't heard from him since.
We should probably make some messages.
Yes, we need to do some
people.
sendings. I can send one after our fight.
I can only
And-
do Atlas and Poe, but we can send freely to them.
Sure.
Poe would be a good one, I think.
So just as a reminder, you've got the brainless Tarask has fallen to the ground.
That's so metal.
Hun-
What a sentence.
Hunter, you had a mini adventure that only lasted about a minute because it was like teleport in, quickly get over to a spot, plant a bomb, which I'm sure Anwar rigged to like be on a certain timer, and then Rona was like, "We got to get out of here."
Yeah.
So it's a fairly short story to tell.
Absolutely. A lot of running, some forward passes. We thought we were going to get sacked there for a sec, but, stayed nimble, kept on our toes, and next thing you know, bing, bang, boom.
You didn't physically see it go off, but I guess there's a number of ways you could try to verify that it did. You had every sign to believe that it did, but you didn't see it yourself. So, what would you guys like to do? I will say that, Anwar, as you go up to a stasis pod with your sister to talk for a bit, you do kind of pass by Jasper just holding Gabrielle in his arms, sobbing over her.
I'll say to Opal, like, hey, just go and hang there for a second. I gotta talk to him real quick, and I'll come join you.
Okay.
And then Anwar will walk over to Jasper and kind of say, hey, my condolences to your friend. You both were very brave to come here, and
You just gotta kind of interrupt you a little bit, like, just leave me alone.
all right.
Just let me be.
Do you want me to close the door, or
Just go.
okay? I'm gonna.
Alright, he goes ahead and does that. Down below, is anybody doing sendings? What are people itching to do next? Anything before bamfing out of here and going home?
I mean, I will. If we can freely do Poe and Atlas, that covers a lot of the current bases we need to check in with right away. And so I think for my spell slot sending, I would probably send it to my uncle. And just, hello, uncle. Checking in. The Tarask has fallen. Cerebro has fallen. We have succeeded. Mission accomplished. Are you safe?
You're basically just gonna hear back, niece, you got a hell of explaining to do. What do you mean that Tarask is dead?
Well, I can't answer now.
Yep.
He's gonna have to
Follow that up later.
Yep. By the way, that was a level 6 spell slot to send that mess.
God damn.
I used all my 3s, 4s, and 5s.
Well, I'm just gonna send to Atlas and Poe. The Tarask is dead.
Okay. Atlas, I think, would respond saying, I don't know how you did it, but our intelligence is saying that the capital city has been obliterated? I was really hoping for you to give us one more surprise, and by the gods, you did it. You did it.
To be fair, that was mostly Hunter with a bomb.
I had one bomb.
One bomb did all of that.
Basically the Gale of this group.
It was a big bomb.
It was a big bomb. Pretty big.
Okay. Well, report back here when you can. We look forward to celebrating with you. There's still some things to work out, but together we can do it. I think the most powerful threats have been neutralized.
I am gonna let him know because we're probably going there, right? That's like where we're going to first, physically. I'm just gonna let him know. We'll probably arrive in a nautiloid. Do not attack it.
Yeah.
Do not
appre-
attack the nautiloid.
I appreciate the heads up. Before you do, please find a way to confirm you are actually Rain. Because this is exactly what a Mind Flayer would say. Oh yeah, don't worry, the nautiloid's showing up. Uh-huh.
I told him to don't shoot the nautiloid.
Alright. You guys are doing that. You've also sent to Poe. Poe's just gonna be ecstatic and joyful, but he's not gonna have much strategic to say. He'll probably say like, I will let the big three know immediately. They will be quite thrilled to hear this, and they'll have many questions.
Don't lie.
They'll-
They're gonna be
they'll
like
have
these sons of bitches.
They'll have many questions, I'm sure. So be prepared for questions.
They're gonna kill us on sight.
Yeah, probably.
we have a nautiloid. They won't
That's
dare.
true.
Right? We show up and they start approaching just a little too aggressively. We're out.
Wait, can we just park? Can we, wherever Lopaw is, can we pull up and just park the nautiloid right there and be like, hey, remember that time you messed with us?
We could have it just like hovering above as a reminder, like we're no longer your pawns. Fuck
You
off.
could grab him and throw him as far as the nautiloid.
Ooh.
With the tentacle.
No, we show up, and I go, hey, Maz, arm wrestling rematch, and then with the tentacle, just.
Not Maz, come on.
Well, I do owe him a duel. He and I, Audra and Maz did agree on that, so. I mean, that's.
To the death, right?
I don't think it was to the death.
I heard it was
I
to
feel
the
like it was to the death.
I don't know, guys.
No, I think
don't know.
Andre's gonna die.
Counter saying to the death.
What's the point of a duel if it's not to the
All
death?
right, I take the gladiator body and I fake my own death and say, sorry, Maz, I owe you a duel.
You looked at
was
the
like, I
gladiator
might
and
need
you're
this,
like,
to be honest.
this could have been me, and it was all this time.
Can we put this near Lopaw's fort and just say I'm dead?
I look down at the corpse and I say, this could have been me. And then the Always Sunny title comes up and just says, Audra duels Maz. Oh, man.
Before we fly anywhere, can we just take a dip down and just check on the Tarask and what I'm assuming? Where was I wasn't there for the dragon thing. So was it in a cave? Was it in a forest?
It was in a forest. It was in a clearing in the middle of a forest on the top of a mountain.
So was
Raven Queen's Forest.
So was there a hoard there of treasure?
Yeah.
So that
Was
got
it-
blown everywhere now.
The horde?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if the Tarask crashed down into it.
It would go flying everywhere.
Oh no.
Yeah.
All the money. We're
And some of it would be
redistributing the wealth.
buried underneath the Tarask, yeah.
A lot of it would be crushed.
Yeah.
Can we just make
This
sure
dragon, this dragon's gonna fucking hate you guys if he ever pins it on you instead of Cerebro.
Yeah.
All right, we drop off the gladiator's body there and say, settled. You killed one of us.
I mean, we could just teleport the Tarask's body, right? And just leave.
Where do we put a Tarask's body? Do we just drop it in the ocean and hope for the best?
That's what I would do. It's just the bottom of the ocean.
Just let it get eaten.
Yeah. Its head is like totally carved out. Let the fish just like
I'm not
eat at
against
it.
that, actually. I'm really not against
We
that.
drop it
Eat so many
into
crabs.
the Raven Queen Lake or whatever that was and just be like, yo, check it out. And then see what she
Oh.
gives us for that.
Oh, that's right. We asked her for help, huh?
Didn't
she
you,
was like,
right?
"Mm."
Didn't Anwar just throw something in the lake to like summon her? And like, what if we drop a whole Tarask in there? What if she's like, yo, good job?
he shot off a beam of like plasma lightning and she got pissed off at him.
Okay,
What are
let's
you
drop a
doing in my waters?
Tarask on her.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure if we dropped a kaiju in her lake, she'd fucking end us.
I'm just trying to think of what's the
we
No, no,
worst.
no.
specifically asked her for help, and she was like, So
She
we were
was-
like, look what
she
we
was wi-
fucking did.
She was willing to offer you help in exchange for things.
But also, she gave us, like, she was very interested in the Tarask itself being dead because it, like, it
It
avoids
defied
death.
death.
Yeah.
Yes. Which
It might
allowed me to
actually be-
rephrase. Still alive. So
Yep.
can we go check that it is in fact
We should,
dead?
yes. I get you.
I would think it's actually dead considering its brain is out, but sure. Yeah.
All right, you want to swoop down there?
Yep.
You swoop down, and as you go and swoop down, you notice that there are a whole bunch of, it looks like a tribe of green dragonborn and kobold that all have various, like, shields and spears and stuff looking up, and they're just like, oh, shit, and they just start running away the minute it starts swooping down.
Yeah, let's
They
turn
could
invisible.
be potentially rallying for an attack afterwards, but so far they're retreating when they see that. So do you guys like hop off of it and then like taking a medicine check? What are you intending on doing with this thing?
Can the nautiloid, because it's like, it's got brain things, can it, like,
Sense?
is there any sort of scanning capability of life forms on board of it?
That's a good question. I would say if you can touch it with the tentacles, that it could scan to see if there's any intelligence.
Let's do that first.
Okay. The nautiloid kind of wraps its tentacles around, and you're not sensing an intelligence score from it.
That sounds pretty dead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely sure how to check otherwise.
It's brainless right now. Pretty much, I would say when it crashes down, it is surprisingly well intact, with the exception of its big brain hole. Is a big mess. I would probably say the big hardcore shell of its back has a big like break in it. Like if you were to just smash a turtle shell onto the pavement. But it's like amazingly it is held intact surprisingly well.
I
So
still
all
think
it would take-
relocate would be
yeah.
best.
All it would take is a necromancer of significant power
Yep.
to come in and res it. So can
Make them
we
swim for it. Hmm.
make them? Yeah, like let's do a Megatron at the end of Transformers 1 and just dump them in the trench.
Yep.
Can we, like, take it above the desert first and, like, drop it a few more times so that it, like, breaks apart a little bit more and then drop it in the trench? It's a lot harder to revive something if it's in pieces and on the bottom of the ocean.
I would say if its casing is already cracked and its skull is already fractured, I think let's just scoop it up, teleport it to the open ocean, and drop it.
Which
The
which
lobsters
which
are good.
ocean is the monster ocean? There's like an ocean that they specifically avoid, or like they have means of like redirecting stuff, right? There's like an angry monster ocean.
Yeah, so there is
Like maybe drop it there.
yeah, so this is where the capital was, like right in the center here, right between the two continents.
Yeah.
So you could like take it way out to sea if you wanted to.
I love that. Big fan of unmarked ocean location.
Just like way far out from anywhere else.
How are you going to get there? How are you going to get to the bottom of the ocean? How are you going to
And
after it's
there's
been
sea monsters. Like,
and
There
things
might-
are eating it?
There might
Yeah.
be sea monsters. They might try to eat the Trask. I don't know.
I'm cool with that. Let them have it.
I also
All you can eat buffet.
Okay. So, if we just, like, grab it and teleport, we could take it with us?
Yep, you can't lift it, but you can grab it. You can bear hug it like you did before, and then you can teleport, and then and if you're like right above the ocean, it's gonna start pulling you down again. So you gotta let go of it quick.
Let's do that.
All right, you teleport over, drop it quick, and it goes boom, and it just starts sinking down pretty quick into the water.
So, real quick to recap, from the perspective of one of the dragon worshippers, they're just chilling in the
Yeah.
forest. Their god or leader is gone, looking for whoever pissed them off. and then a kaiju falls from the sky directly onto the horde, explodes.
Well, hold on. You're forgetting the part where they were looking up and saw a kaiju battle up in the air.
Oh, I didn't know if they could see that part.
Yeah, that one I think they could see high up. It was kind of hard to see, but anyone with a spyglass, if one of them had one, they would look up. They were like, "Holy shit!"
Like somebody's
imagine it'd be
farming.
loud.
They go to like stretch their back. They like tilt their head, look up, and they're like, "What the fuck?" Like just stops
Well-
the entire day.
Well, there's got to be at least one guy who was like up high in a tree, scouting around, like, "Will our master ever return?" And then sees that shit.
Yeah. And I imagine like the Tarrasque was like making roars and stuff like that. And you could
Oh,
hear things.
and also there was one freaking kobold who just stood on top of the horde, being like, "This is my horde now," and then boom.
So then a kaiju fell from the sky after one
Yeah.
person's like, I swear to God, there's something fighting up in the sky.
Yeah.
And then it
Is the
blew
thing
everything
fighting
up.
the sky getting closer? Uh-oh.
They all ran away. And then a
Yep.
giant purple squid spaceship flies down, picks it up, is like, all right, bye. And then just teleports away with it.
Yep.
That's how I want my alien invasion to be.
And now they have to explain that to their green dragon overlord.
Yep.
Those guys are dead.
I don't believe you guys.
All right.
That's
Well-
awesome.
You successfully dealt with the Tarrasque, I believe.
Cross that off the list.
Will it come back in 1,000 years as Godzilla? Maybe, but that's not your problem.
Tarrasqued
somebody else's
and
problem.
answered. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
I feel like we've done our duty here.
And it was done so quick because of the power of friendship and teleportation.
And gravity. The best
Gravity.
weapon in any game.
It's true.
I cast drop.
Do we want to go see Atlas and them, or do we want to go check on Stem Garden in Riverbed?
I feel like so there's the infighting with all that going on. Like, do we want to go check out like torn down Riverbed before we like go say, hey guys, everything's been taken care of. Please stop doing this.
And
Well,
Richard, remind us, how long have we been MIA?
From Riverbed? Let me check the calendar.
Weeks.
Well,
Thought it was
we had the
It's-
dream
it-
nightmare
It's
thing.
now the 27th. You haven't been there since I think you made armor on the 13th. So it's been like 2 weeks since you've been there.
And we were
But
in
more,
like our stasis for like a week on board.
that's what I'm saying. Like, we
Right.
were just like out of it for a week. From,
Yeah. Oh, completely MIA. I see what you mean. Yeah, Agonizar's ritual 19th. So yeah, you teleported on like the 19th or 20th. So you've been gone for over a week. Oh yeah, I remember saying it was 8 days.
maybe,
So yeah, been gone since the 19th.
maybe we get back to friendly people first with Atlas and their guild and everything like that, and then find out what happened to Stem Garden.
Because on the other end of it too, Stone Garden was ransacked by people who looked a whole lot like we did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
Yes.
Flying in on a squid.
Checking the temperature over there before just showing up.
Right.
Maybe with
Right.
or without the nautiloid.
Right.
I think maybe we go to Atlas first just to drop off the people that are with us. Paladin boy, because otherwise he's just gonna be sitting on the ship
Yeah.
while we go fix other things.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So sorry, I just missed that. Where are you guys going next?
Atlas.
Atlas. All right, going over to Atlas, and also Vulture Dude, who was never fully a good guy, but kind of teamed up with you. Agonazar's gone. He's banished himself. She is dead. And also Ronan is potentially gone back to hell after seeing it through to the end that thing blew up.
Yeah, what exactly happened with Ronan? Did he blow himself up?
Hunter, you would have gotten word from him that he's like, I'm going straight back to hell with this. Like, he doesn't fear death. It's just a return flight for him.
Easy peasy. Yeah, he's good. Took a quick way out of here.
Great.
Oh, Hunter, that reminds me. I thought I would give this back to you in a more commemorative way, but here's the dagger I was making for you. It's still kind of warm. This was meant to be a, hey, come back from hell and get this gift after your long journey, but I mean, good job on the bomb, I guess. There's that.
Thank you. Yeah, tight. All right, I'm gonna stab some stuff with this. Thank you.
Yeah, we need to replace the one you threw off the edge, you know?
Alrighty. So I guess you inform Atlas and others of what happened. Jasper has some sad news for his crew. Do you just kind of give the whole spiel of what happened, or is there anything you want to embellish or leave out?
I feel like we just tell him all of it, A to Z.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any questions you have of what you missed?
Who's
Yeah,
all
what-
dead?
Yeah, what happened?
So there were attempts when Operation Take on the Nautiloid seemed to fail. There were attempts made to take on the Tarask as it was making its way to the underwater city, and those attempts failed. There were some covert operation attempts from some of our special forces to take out the lab from the underwater lab, so we tried tackling it at multiple different angles and they all failed. Aghanazar abandoned us and left for the elemental plane of fire, so we tried to get the lamp from Mazadon, and he was not going along with that. And so we tried a special ops team to take it from him, and we had a great plan in place that, we had a whole bunch of people that had ethereal oil, so that way they could slip on through. And it turns out that they have some kind of ancestral guardians that live on the ethereal plane, and so that didn't work out. And now Mazadon's really pissed at us, and things have been extremely tense, and I think the only thing that could calm things down is spreading the good news of what just happened.
Etherealness. That was a good. Well, you don't know. And Anwar has like a little journal that's like plan to steal genie. And he like crosses off oil of etherealness. Okay. Well, so I guess big picture, Cerebro's gone, like very gone. The Tarask is dead. It's now at the bottom of the ocean. We have a Nautilus ship. We were able to rescue most of the mine clones.
Two of which you guys still haven't tried to fix because you don't really have memories of them?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're just still knocked out. Did you, tie them up? What did you do with them?
Can we put them in the stasis pods?
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I feel like if they're safe in the pods, then just let them be preserved until someone who can, properly fix them, you know?
I mean, I feel like that's us, because we're the only ones who have done this before.
Well, we could,
Well, if we could
Yeah.
hunt down people with memories, because the person impersonating Chimera actually had hey, this person is missing posters out and about.
Right.
So
well, she's the one we can't break back. But, oh, sorry, Chimera,
Well,
my
yeah.
bad. I was thinking Audra.
Yeah, and people were asking about the Shadow Monk Tiefling too.
I feel like we can, we could show other people how to do the process. Like if we're like the Nautiloid's ours now, right? So we can show other people how to use it and just put out an APB for like people who have the memories to make it work.
I don't think we show anybody how to use it because as soon as you tell a scientist how something works, they're gonna do it themselves.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think
regardless,
Hilo was the first one to be like, "I will learn how to use the machine."
No, I think we try that fuck for war crimes and kill him.
Yeah,
that's the next step.
We're gonna reprogram him. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, either way, we gotta put out a call for like people who knew these folks better, so that we can do that part. But like, I mean, I feel like that's an off-screen thing,
Yeah, Atlas and the other dwarf will speak to you guys saying, speaking out this Nautilus, what do you intend to do with it?
I mean, once the other people are fixed, I vote we just destroy it.
Are you kidding me? This is a major upgrade from my wagon, which, by the way, no clue where that is.
Well, you lost it. We were using it so much.
Well,
all the time.
Well, I understand. If we don't want the programming portion falling into the wrong hands, do we really want the other weapons capabilities being in anyone else's hands either?
So we're keeping it, right?
Unless there's like another Tarask that shows up. I mean, I would like to have it on standby.
Until they
All right, so
build a bigger Tarask.
Okay, so it's Voltron. We're just keeping it in a cave somewhere.
I don't see why not.
I mean, we can keep it in Cammy's
I was
snow
about to
castle.
say we could,
I
I
do
suppose.
have a pretty huge snow castle.
I have a question,
Well,
Richard.
you're not wrong with that.
Is the pool, because you mentioned the pool was a teleportation thing, does it have a circle?
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
rain
if you drain the pool, you can see that there's a circle down at the bottom of it.
Like, guys, there's a new threat to humanity. Like, everybody get to the circle, and then we just teleport straight into the thing, and then we can take on the threat again.
To the Squidmobile! Ba-na!
If rain learns the circle, can we just park it in outer space?
It can't go into outer space. That's the vacuum of...
but we can park it with non-detection and invisibility indefinitely somewhere and just leave it. Because
I'm a big
know
fan
the
of
circle.
parking it in the ice mountain and then just like, in the mountain of justice.
It does seem like it's not like you can't do it indefinitely. There was at some point that they shut it down for maintenance and such.
Okay.
So you can't just do that forever, but
And then-
routinely, as long as people don't know to look for it, then you can probably keep it safe.
Frickin' Aberrant Empire Season 2, like, somebody shows the kids where the frickin' thing is, and then they just go Moana-ing around. It'll be okay.
It's just
Pull
Star
out a
Trek
retirement.
Prodigy.
Yeah. It'll be fine. It'll be
I
fine.
would like to see what happened on the other continents that we haven't, really been to yet. What's going on over there? Where did Bomb
there
Rat
enough
come from? What's his deal?
Don't
Is
pull
there
an
enough
Arya, though.
space in the snow place to keep it in the ice palace?
The snow palace that is underwater.
Yeah.
You might need to carve out enough space for it. It's 250 feet long.
Listen, I put a
about to say,
brain
it's a big
through
one.
through a head hole. I can park a brain inside an ice cube. You know what I'm saying?
Fun
I don't know
fact,
if
a
that-
squid can squeeze into anything the size of its beak.
It's
That's
not a
weird.
squid though.
Oh.
We could also just park it on the bottom of
Dragon's a
the
giant
ocean.
Squid, right?
It's
We
true.
could just park it at the bottom of the
That is
ocean.
true.
But it's got a much bigger, harder shell than a normal squid does.
Butt has a bigger, harder shell.
It's based off the animal, the nautiloid.
How about this? How about this?
Do they have harder shells? I didn't actually know that.
What's that old lady's house? What's her name?
Inger? Oh,
Inger. Let's
yes!
park it at Inger's place.
Just,
She's super dead.
just hovering right above it.
No.
Just in the woods. Just hide it in the woods.
Just wear
Until
the
we gotta
house
figure a
as
better place
hat.
for it.
I feel like we should park it as physically
about-
hard as possible to get to, unless you know the circle.
What about In or around like the haunted castle area.
One
Just
we have
like in the middle
used
of.
The
Just
thing,
un-
though,
But it's
we
protected.
destroyed
But it's
the
abandoned,
cursed-
right?
Right, but we destroyed the
For
cursed
now.
area, and the place hasn't been investigated in actual fucking years. Like, I can only imagine people are like, I'm gonna go ransack the crap out of this place.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And then
like,
they're
people
like-
will go there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly think the bottom of the ocean.
There's
at the
something
ice
called
is
grim
probably the
tourism.
safest bet,
That's
'cause,
your
you know,
okay.
Yeah, I like bottom of the ocean.
What
especially
if
we
we-
leave it on invisible mode?
Or if you put it like in the bottom of Cold Bay, so it's like right near Riverbed, but
Put that
I do
brain
like
on
that too.
ice.
I don't want it too far away.
Yeah, we could just dunk it into Cold Bay, and we know where it is.
Yeah, Rain will go back like every 2 weeks to like check on it, make sure that it's not like destroyed completely. And if it's in the water and like for whatever reason it gets like destroyed, she'll just teleport to a place underwater and be like, "Oh, well, that's that," and then leave because she
Right.
can breathe
Just
and
have-
swim.
Yeah, water breathing. Mhm.
the nice thing about the Cold Bay as opposed to out in the ocean or the Stormy Sea, which was also called the Leviathan Sea, is you
That's
don't
where
have
I
to be
wanted
as
to drop
worried
the
about
trash.
giant monsters eating
Ooh.
your nautiloid.
Or
Yeah.
It's
There
exactly why I
is-
wanted to drop the trash.
there
there.
is the little
Yeah.
island. There is the little island up north that's kind of like nothing happens there, but it's where the Becoming hangs out. I would trust him to look over it.
You
I'm-
would trust him.
I'm just
I
saying.
The
think
guy
we
who was
just-
like, "Don't kill the Tarrasque."
Oh
Here's
right.
a
Here's the
mad
thing.
scientist.
Here's the murder weapon.
I
Not a
think we
bad
just
idea.
keep it
Hey,
away from it. Everyone
be
else will
fair-
put it at the bottom of the
To
bay.
be fair,
Yeah.
Listen,
gravity killed
Listen,
the
I know
Tarrasque.
you said don't kill the Tarrasque. Anyway, here's the weapon we use.
You're right.
Do you mind putting it in your garage?
Yeah, you know, I do have to
For
have
a
a
couple
conversation
days.
with the Becoming about that, don't I?
All right, we're putting it at the bottom of the bay. Why don't we like get done with everything at the order? We'll put it at the bottom of the bay, and then we'll go to Riverbed.
Feel like yeah, like just not conspicuous. Just oop, here we are. We're just walking in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst
I like
voice
that.
of Down by the Bay ever.
All right. I'll just see here. Okay. All right. So you guys go ahead and do that. So we can jump forward in time a little bit to where you've gotten your long rests and such. So if anybody wanted certain things where they level up, they can do that. I don't know if leveling up will affect much for the end of this or not, but maybe it will. Who
It
knows?
probably won't, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, it is
Alright.
an
Now
ability.
I'm a god. No.
It is an ability score, at least if you choose that way. I'm gonna say for Audra, having come through all this, I'm gonna bump up her wisdom.
All right. Nice.
Plus 9 points.
That's a good roll. Anybody else got anything as far as ways they level up to 12 to represent how they've grown as a character, as a capstone?
I will say also, Richard, not that it particularly matters for the HP. I'm just gonna take the average
All right.
because I have that tough feat anyway. So
Hunter is leaning into that warlock shit with this little mini adventure with his patron.
And he killed a hell of a lot of squid, so he's damn proud of you.
Squid. So I have been enriched with powers beyond wild belief.
What can you do with those wild powers? You get some invocations or some spells? What do you get?
I get a third invocation, I get a third level spell slot, and I get a couple more hit points.
All right.
Yeah, I'm thrilled with that.
Cool. Did you choose your invocation? I'm always curious what invocation people take, because
Did, but I might
They're
have to put
such-
it in on my own because it does
Okay.
not want to do that.
I get such choice paralysis sometimes with those invocations because there's just so many.
yeah. Does anybody else have
Ooh.
anything for what they're taking on their levels up?
I'm going to take the telepathic feat because I feel like with how much Rain, this is like future proofing with how much
Mhm.
Rain is going to be interfacing with the ship. Just
Yeah.
like, even just like to check on it, she's
Mhm.
like gonna get a little bit of the like abilities that the Illithid have.
That makes sense. Yeah. Even just in connecting with the amount of the ship that you have already, that's allowed you, kind of after this long rest, to just have more of a knack for that kind of thing.
Similar to that, I would say having interfaced directly with the ship, and I even said that the Anwar suit, which came from Illithid technology and the Warforged constructs and everything like that,
Mhm.
like having that experience plugging in together kind of almost upgraded his suit a little bit even more.
Sure.
Like downloading a very advanced firmware, basically.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say that he takes the Warcaster feat.
Welcome to
Alright.
the club.
So that makes like all of his spells stronger, him react a little bit faster, and just overall more protected.
All right.
Harder, better, faster, stronger. On more.
Kamira, is there any particular
I
ability, score, or feat that?
don't know the name of it. I forgot what it was, but given my overall game plan, I am going to take something that's going to give me proficiency with intelligence saves.
Oh, so like resilient.
I think so.
Nice. Alrighty. And speaking of your game plan overall, Kamira, one thing that we have not touched on yet is you've got some kiddos that are out there that haven't heard from you in a while, that might be worried that you're dead. Did you want to check in at them at all after you get some spell slots back and can reach out to more people or try to teleport to them?
Not yet.
Alright,
With
hold it.
her general intention, like rekindling and returning, and then
Mhm.
like fucking off, doesn't seem quite right. So not quite yet.
Alright, so her kids and Orontis are out there somewhere. Let's see. Anything else that people have before going to STEM Garden or trying to talk with any of the big three?
We have rested, so I guess I'll send another sending to my uncle. Now that what did he ask me? Just like I got a lot of explaining to do. Is that what he said? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Something like
basically
that.
just like you destroyed the Tarask. What the hell?
Yeah.
Because last you heard he was going off to help
Yeah,
fight the Tarask,
yeah.
and it sounds like that didn't go well.
Yeah.
You probably saw how freaking tough it was.
So I'll just respond. Sorry for the delay. Short on magic. Anyway, yes, Tarask is dead. I can speak more about the fight later, but glad you are safe.
Well, he's just gonna sound. Well, you know where I call home now, so you come on back anytime.
Before we get to Stem Garden Riverbed, we kind of led off with Onward going to go talk to Opal about what happened and the status of our parents and everything like that. So he would have deliberately said, like, you were taken and mind controlled, and not saying who did it, but in the fight, in the battle at Riverbed, our parents fell. They were destroyed. And when that happened, as a number of our allies' families fell, they used our faces to cause the chaos and damage. So even with this incredible victory that we have scraped away with, there is still a chance that we will not be welcome back there. That's to be seen. It's possible that they'll come around, but I think Opal would want to know, with our parents gone and with our shop taken again by Iron Man, we're homeless. We're homeless. Is that accurate to say, Richard?
Yeah, seems like it.
So, to Opal, since you are really the only family here I care about, that I want to make sure is safe and taken care of, now that we can go anywhere, I'm thinking we go. I'm thinking we go and see everything. If you'd like to come with me.
There's someone in particular I'm looking for in Riverbed, and if he's there, I think I want to stay. And if he's gone, maybe I'll go. Or maybe I'll reconnect with the madam. I need to think. Our family was running for so long. And maybe it's okay if we're going towards something? But also, part of me feels so defiant that I would just want to stay more than ever. Just to shove it to them, you know?
Totally get it. Well,
So I don't know.
think on it. But I just didn't want you to be blindsided when I announce what my plans are for the future.
So, I'll allow you to either try to persuade her to go with you, or we could end up just rolling odds evens on what she decides.
I do not like it when it's like, Shepard, tell this person how to forgive their father or blah blah blah. Like, sometimes I'm just like, listen, what I've said and done to the game, I want whatever hidden invisible score to matter there, but I want them to decide. If they want to stay, I can see why they would want to stay. Anwar feels like we were forced to like the northern horn of the world, and he's like, I don't like the cold. I don't like being told where to be. I want to go. I want to leave.
Yeah.
But I can see Opal thinking the opposite. So I would say if you want to make it a random roll, go for it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see how things play out in Riverbed, and we'll go from there. So let's see. We've got that, and sorry, I'm just looking around. All right. Anybody else got anything before you head off to Riverbed / STEM Garden? Seeing that, you go ahead and go there. Hunter, do you remember what
The 21st
the tavern was called from the very beginning? I'm trying to see if I can find it.
Oh man, I do not know.
Well, in any case, we can use our imaginations. So you guys go over to Riverbed / STEM Garden, and you see it mostly burned down. You see the walls have been torn. Like there's been big explosions that have like knocked through holes in the walls and such. The whole what was I gonna say? Can I restore this? Bring us back to the olden map. Yeah, I'd say the docks are like completely aflame. The big residence of the like government officials, like the mayor stuff, like all of this was burned down. The temple was burned down. Most things are burned down. Maybe about a quarter of the houses are left. But most of it has been absolutely devastated and destroyed when you get back there. First of all, how are you getting back there? Are you like just Nautiloid ship shows up flying overhead or something else?
I don't think we should do that. I think
No.
that looks really bad for us.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get dropped off a little bit of ways, and then Rain can fly the ship over to the middle of the lake, and then go down and park it,
But like make it invisible.
and then swim up or teleport back to us? Teleport back to town.
I was just gonna say Rain can just teleport you guys outside of town, and teleport the thing itself into the water, right? Like she doesn't need to fly into the water. Yeah,
Right.
just don't even give people an idea that the thing is there, so that no one's afraid, no one sees anything going into the water. It just teleports to the bottom of the bay, and then we appear outside of town a little bit so that we can just walk in.
Okay. Yeah, so when you walk in, you see that there's absolute devastation everywhere. You do see that there are a few people, though, that survived the major assault. You see that there is Flash Iron Pan, of course, has made his shop where his old factory used to be, where the Marwans took over. He's taken it back. So you see a new sign up being like Flash, like Iron Pan Enterprises, and then you see the old the old tavern that kind of hosted resistance things. It looks like a good chunk of it was burned down, but you already see that there is some amount of like cleaning the debris area, and you see the old halfling who ran the place look over. Is like, "Well, Lord be damned, Hunter, is that you?
Piece of him.
Holy shit, it's the whole lot of you." He's gonna go over. He's gonna be like, "You're not here to hurt us, are you?"
No. We've been actually out of action for about a week. We just came back and stuck it to the squids, and now we're here. I know there are some people looking like us that made some trouble. It ain't
Yes,
great.
indeed there was, but I'd bet my left foot that was just some aberrant trickery. It's the exact kind of thing that they'd do. I know you'd never do it.
Well, I'm glad you kept your foot.
Don't worry. I've been telling all of them that you all would never do it. And you know what? The town frickin' trusts you, because you've been looking after us for a long time.
Yeah.
Derek over by the docks, he still thinks you're behind the Mabon attack, but everybody else,
I was waiting for the like everyone thought it was you, and like everyone who, and then we turn around and it's just a big mob with pitchforks and torches and.
Yeah, so you kind of look around, and every once in a while you'll see somebody who you kind of recognize in town. They'll kind of like whisper over, and they'll look over a little fearful, but then they just kind of wave to you like, are they okay?
Yeah, I'll wave back, and
At some point you see kind of people are starting to whisper. Some people like run away, but then they come back with more people, and little by little you start to see more people coalescing around you, and then eventually you see Poe walking out amongst a few of the others. It says, "You see, everybody, I told you they'd come back. And by golly, you tell these people now, is it true? Did you do it? Did you take out the fuckers once and for all?"
hell yeah, we did. Maybe
Yeah,
we
everybody
bubbled in the
starts
water.
rejoicing. And they start surrounding you to all give you big group hugs.
They're nothing but a big old whale fart now.
Yeah! They start like lifting you up.
I'm still tender, but thank you.
They're gonna try to lift all of you up. Do you all accept it, or do some of you react differently? How do you handle that?
Oh God, no.
Audra,
No, thank you. No, thank you. That's it. Just
Audra
not.
will have the same kind of like I don't know thing, but then she'll let him do it, but she'll be very like nonplussed in her expression as she's being hoisted.
I'll take it.
All right. Some of them will just settle for high fives with you.
Yeah.
And the few of them who are out there will say like, we gotta have a big feast. And people sort of like, you over there, you get this, and you get that, and you get that, and you'll start a fire. Not too big of a fire. All right, let's do this. Not too big of a fire. Some people are still pretty traumatized, but most people, let's go. And people start gathering and preparing a feast in your honor.
Cool.
As time goes on, you start having. First of all, is there anybody that you guys are reaching out to, or looking for, or anything else as preparations are beginning for your feast?
Do we want to talk to Poe and get an idea of how bad the infighting was, or?
Yeah,
That's
can we?
a good idea.
Are we gonna get murdered tonight?
Is this a murder feast?
Imagine Anwar approaches Poe and just that's the question. No,
Are we gonna get murdered tonight?
Are we getting murdered tonight?
Poe is just like, no,
Insight
no, 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 no. They're miles away.
They're miles away, guys.
Yeah.
Wait, who's miles away?
They are.
Mazadon is miles away, and he does not know that you're here. It might be good to explain to him what's happened in person. Lowpaw is still over in Crabclaw.
We think.
To best of my knowledge, he's still in Crabclaw. Thompson is out in the mountains. Mazadon has many questions, and he does have some concerns. But everything should be fine tonight, hopefully. But let's not invite Lowpaw.
No.
Bacon.
Smash cut. Lopa is like stationed on a freaking rooftop nearby. He's got an infotron.
You know, I was gonna let it bygones be
was
bygones,
get
but then you
done, my
didn't
lord.
invite me to the party, so.
Did you bring anybody with you to this, as far as Opal or anybody else? Or is it just you five?
Definitely Opal brought back with us.
Okay.
We're probably
any of the-
looking for the people that were looking for the missing people, right? Were they in Riverbed or elsewhere?
Missing people. The
It's
missing
spread out.
Chimera poster, I believe, was first spotted in like the Candy Guy city.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was further away. That was
I feel like the only one anyone around
that was around the time of Reggie River Rider, so I think that's in like Lamprey, I think.
Yeah, it's a way.
Right, yeah, where the boot
Okay.
salesman were. I think the only people around here who might have questions are other Tsunami members, right? Because the Shadow Monk guy was one of them, wasn't he? He was from another team.
Yeah, most of the Tsunami's members died by fake use.
All right, never mind.
How can we? That answers that takes care of all of our problems, guys. This is fine.
Okay, but hold on.
It's
Hotcha
fine.
can know speak with dead, right?
Yes, I'm pretty sure. Didn't I? I think I took it into Castle Rock. Or Castle
Hey,
Hill.
so like you knew like a
whatever it was.
tiefling monk guy. Like, what was his favorite food? Do you remember? Do you have any hobbies?
There is a mass grave that you can go to if you'd like.
Yes.
And they are labeled as best they can.
You know, I think I will actually visit Aura's grave.
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely you can go visit Aura's grave.
I will say specifically, we probably brought the other brainwashed people with us so that we don't leave them on the ship.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
Wait, what do you not want to leave on the ship?
The brainwashed people so that they don't wake up and be like, oh, we have a nautiloid.
Oh, well, I thought they were on stasis pods.
Oh, were there
Yeah.
working stasis pods on
Yeah.
the ship?
Yeah, there were still other
Oh,
working
okay.
stasis pods. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they're
Yeah,
currently
are we-
trapped in there.
Okay. We're sure they can't get out?
We can
you
lock
wanna-
them. Let's make sure.
You want to retroactively roll an investigation or Arcana check?
Absolutely.
Retroactively rope it shut.
I need to be as physically sure as possible, so there's my d6 from the thing. 18?
18.
Nice.
You're 99% sure that it's okay, unless they have some kind of ability that Cerebro gave them that would be able to thwart this exact thing from happening.
It's a 20 now.
It's a 20. You have a feeling that Cerebro may have given at least one of them an ability that could help them get out of a stasis pod.
Absolutely not. We're not leaving him in the ship.
So we're just bringing 2 brainwashed agents into town?
We could tie them up. And then conk them on the head when we need to. Listen, I don't know any other, we could try and fix them now, but, we all seem pretty set on staying in Riverbed, so...
I would say if there's a chance of them waking up, we should have left them with Atlas and them.
You could have done that if you will say that's what you would have done. It was retroactive that you made that roll, so we can retroactively say what you did with them too.
Okay. Yeah,
they certainly would have the means to keep them at bay. All right, so in that case, it's just Opal that you brought with you, and probably Sorsha.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
right.
you can pick her up on the way.
To the place, right?
Yeah.
We just hover over and just honk the horn.
Because she was a part of the Agadazar ritual, so she was definitely there.
Yeah, so she came with us.
Yep. Sorsha would be very happy to come back with you. Opal is going to find that her little orc crush is there. He's gonna before too long, as people are making preparations and stuff, you're gonna start hearing music playing on a little banjo and a little one kick drum thing, and she's gonna look over to you and say, fuck them all, I'm staying here, this is home, and goddamn it, it's burned down, but if anybody's gonna rise from the ashes, it's gonna be us.
Marwans always rise from the ashes.
Is that what they say, or is that what we're saying now?
It's what we've been saying this entire time.
Okay. Yeah, I know where I want to be. Unless he wants to hit the road. In that case, we're touring. But
Dang,
otherwise...
don't throw your whole life away for a boy.
Hey Richard, does Flash Iron Pan happen to be at this celebration?
Oh yeah, at some point. I was gonna say it for a little bit later, but yeah, cut to the dinner happening. Well, do you want to do your graveyard thing first before we?
I think that would be an evening post party thing.
Okay, so yeah, at the party, definitely at some point, Flash Iron Pan's gonna come over and he's gonna kind of swoop in, trying to gauge how Anwar's gonna respond to seeing him. He's gonna be like, "Hey, Mr. Marwan." Hello?
Why are you back in that shop, Flash?
Well, to be fair, I thought you were all dead, and I made it's a very tasteful sign, very tasteful, saying in memory of the Marwans. It's a very fancy place, and leaving some of the touches. The overall shop not very well damaged. Good condition.
Where's the sign?
Oh, I could come show you. Come show you the shop.
Mm-hmm.
And do you go over to see it, or do you just talk with him?
I go over.
Okay, you go over a little ways, leaving the party. You go over and see the shop, and you see big sign, grand reopening. Little sign over on a corner, in memory of.
Yep, that's what I figured.
See, it's very tasteful, very good sign. Every time you go to the register, every time you come through, you're gonna see the sign. You can't miss it.
Looking around, do I see any of the Marwan designs? Any of their tinkering gadgets and things like that?
Go ahead and roll me either investigation or perception.
I think I have advantage on perception.
I think while you have the helmet on, you do, yeah.
And then if there are, he turns to combat mode.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Wow, that's some bad rolls. You look
11.
around and you're like, alright, seems legit. You do not see...
Go ahead.
Yeah, you don't see any particular sign of Marwan stuff.
What about the suit?
Oh, the big suit before that, like when you scryed on.
The big
You
Octavia
see,
suit.
yeah, you see no sign of that anywhere.
Flash, where's the suit?
What suit?
Flash.
What do you mean, this whole thing? And he's going to go over and show like a big hunk of junk that was totally destroyed off in the corner. Like he just kind of picks it up out of scraps. I was gonna try to turn this into something. I swear this is how I found it.
Looking over it, does it look completely defunct now? Like, it had like an anti-magic eye on it, but I imagine that's pretty fragile.
Yeah, you look at it. It looks like it was pretty well destroyed. It's quite possible that through your sister, while she was brainwashed, Cerebro had it destroyed.
Hmm. All right. All right, Flash. I'm feeling generous. And not just because my home's been burned down and you moved back into my shop while you thought I was dead in less than a span of a week. I'll tell you what. Just so we're all squaresies. I'll say I'm selling the shop back to you. And anything I wasn't able to find here. We'll call it just an even number. 10,000.
Oh! 10,000! 10,000 for a shop in the middle of a burned down city!
With a lot of electronic
I'm
toothbrushes.
building this back up from the dirt! 10,000.
Flash. For all the ideas you've skimmed over us over the years, for that sorry excuse of a sign, for the ships that nearly tried to kill me of your make.
Harkening back to the peace treaty that was signed way back at the Accords way long ago, part of that was a stipulation that the Silverbeards and all the associated dwarves from that area could not own land here. That it had to go back to other people, but they could lease land. They could rent space from you. So he says, all right. So that would have got all the barbarian types off my back. 5,000 to lease this space for... And give it to me, and then if I want to pass it to 500 years.
5,000 for 500 years. That comes down to like 10 gold a year.
Well, I mean, if I were to buy it outright, I would owe it for more. My family could own it for far more than 500 years, but unfortunately I can't own it, and I do want to.
So
It's
what it
essentially
sounds-
like you're selling it to me, but technically the Marwans would still own the land. You see what I'm
So
saying?
what you're saying is you're squatting on it currently.
That's a way one could put it. I'm simply putting it as I am renovating it. This city is going to take a while before it reaches its glory again.
And you could have a place here to do business, or you could do business elsewhere.
10,000 is so much. I don't have that much.
Tell you what, you give me 5,000 now, and you pay my sister the other 5.
When?
How long do dwarves live?
A long time. That's why I'm asking for 500 years.
Make it quicker than that.
Because I want to be able to give it to my kids someday too, so it's not just me, you don't understand.
I understand.
5,000 now. And a 5% cut of the profits from here until the next 5,000 is paid off.
50.
50%! Go ahead and roll persuasion. Or intimidation, whatever it is you're aiming for.
The suit goes into interrogation mode.
The Spider-Man, like, glowing red eyes mode.
Mhm.
I...
Oh, I was so close to that nat 20. Still, nat 19.
30-19.
40%, and that's frickin' robbery, but I'll do it for you. Just because of everything you've done for the world.
%40.
Hunter,
Alright, go get the 5,000. You enjoy the party. I'll get it to you by the end. Don't ask me how I get it. Alright.
And for the first time, I can say, Flash, it's been a pleasure doing business with you.
Hopefully not the last. Alright, you're gonna get 5,000 gold by the end of the night, and your sister is gonna be well set up for a while.
That works for me.
Alright.
Get that sweet passive income, baby!
Yeah. Anything else that anybody wants to do at this party in your honor for the evening?
I think Hunter sneaks out early and grabs a bottle of whiskey and heads over to the farm and just see what's going on with it in this, with Paw gone.
You go out there and you see, well, for one, I guess you would have seen Tucker eventually find his way to you, be like, holy shit, man, you're alive?
Yeah, against all odds. Too stubborn to die. Come on now.
Holy shit, man, well, I've been taking care of the farm for you.
That's great.
One of the nice things being outside the wall ain't one of the things that got taken on fire.
Yeah, small blessings, right?
Yeah. Think about it, all that time they were saying you're safer inside the wall, turns out we were safer outside of it the whole dang time.
Well, how'd they say goodbye to Paul?
Oh, we gave him a good funeral, man. We gave one for you too. Honestly, if you want to come over to the burial site right behind the farm, there's a spot for you too.
You about to kill me, you son of a bitch?
No! We thought you was dead. We buried. We just took a box and put a bunch of your belongings in it. I cried for you, man.
All right, just checking.
I knew. Not for a second did I believe that you were the ones who torched the dang riverbed.
You're a good one, man. You're a good one, Tucker. Yeah, let's take a drink at the grave plots.
Let's do that. I think it's time we take out the good stuff. And he's gonna go down, take you into a big cellar, and take out the best of the stuff you've been holding in there for years. Is it alright if I drink this?
No, it's okay if you drink half of that.
Alright, I see what. Alright. Well, cheers to that, my friend. He's gonna get some mason jars and just start filling them up.
Hell yeah. After a few minutes of getting silly, he's gonna walk over and, if you'll excuse me, I got I don't know if this has ever been done, ever. I'm gonna piss on my own grave.
So you see out on the back of the area, you see 3 little graves next to each other. There's your ma, there's Pa, Caleb, and then there's Hunter. 3 little things right next to each other. And you piss on your own grave.
Match cut of Hunter's piss cuts to wine going into a goblet back at the party. Because you know what else we should do? Based on what we talked about before with where we dropped the Tarask, Audra should take a look in that Dragon Eye amulet and see what the dragon's up to right now.
Sure.
So what? Is the dragon just destroying his that guy for what?
Cut to a large city you are completely unfamiliar with. To paint a picture, it's almost it looks kind of like an Italian city, like Florence or whatever. It's got lots of canals and everything. The gorgeous architecture, completely foreign to where you're used to. And you see just a dragon perched down on this one kind of palisade area, and staring straight down at this person in garb that looks like it is like imperial governor kind of attire. And the dragon's just looking down saying, "And you say this Cerebro's positioned out west? Alrighty." And then it's like, well, yeah, I mean, he was stationed out west, but then I believe he's taken over. He's now running things down underneath in the capital city under the. It's like, you better not be lying to me. And so you just see that he's in the middle of a big interrogation, and this imperial person is shitting his pants. So you see that there's still remnants of the empire left.
Okay.
But it seems like this dragon's gonna be at it for a while.
Cool.
And yeah, you kind of eventually, right before it cuts out, it's like, I swear I told you everything. Then you're no longer any use to me. And just breathe acid right down on him until the guy just freaking melts.
Audra hits the off button. Okay, I guess we're all right there. And Richard, did my old blacksmith master also die in the fire of Riverbed?
I'm gonna roll odds evens.
Because I don't think we ever, decided his fate.
Evens, he survived.
Okay, cool.
So
then at the party,
yeah.
she's gonna be telling him all about all these various weapons she's made along the journey, and handed out to various folks to just sort of commemorate things that have happened.
I see the apprentice has become the master.
A master, you're still mine.
Forever and always.
Cheers to that.
Alrighty. So with there, why don't we do a little bit of early bio break, and then we'll come back in and do some more stuff to wrap up.
All right, let me hit that break screen. Be right back. Okie dokie, we're back. And I'm assuming things are not on fire.
Except for
No,
the
nothing's on fire. Was there anything else that people wanted to do at this kind of celebration thing, or anything else at STEM Garden before moving on to other things?
The rug stall that Chimera used to work at, was that like just destroyed in the bombing?
Totally destroyed in the latest fire. Like, well, it was pretty badly damaged, if not destroyed, in the bombing. I think Chimera just kind of moved on from there. And
So what I was, because some of us made some like divine deals to create the nuke, and
Yeah.
I've got a deadline to make.
You
I
do.
was gonna see if I couldn't find any of her like old materials to help with that process, but if not, then
Not at that shop. However, you did buy back your old house. So if you had any that were like in an under, I don't know, probably at some point when it had different owners, they probably would have gone through it all.
That's
So
right,
you,
because the squatters.
yeah, you probably have to start back.
Okay.
You probably have to start back from scratch, unfortunately.
I got it color blocked out though on a piece of paper. The easiest part's over.
I can give you 400 gold if that helps.
Nah, it'll be
Okay, cool.
fine. It'll be fine. What'd you get for? Oh wait, I remember what you got for 100 gold. Just kidding. What gold do I have now?
Well,
find it.
the
Doesn't
long
matter.
and short of it is, they all have a party in your honor, and they all cheer for you, and they're all quite excited, and they hail you as great heroes, and they start singing songs of you that they may tell for a long time.
Hey, Tucker,
Yep.
you said you buried my stuff?
Some of your stuff, yeah, kind of like your personal belongings, some of the things that you really liked that you didn't take with you. You know, things I found in your room and stuff.
What kind of my stuff did you bury?
Journal.
Journal, nudie mags.
You found them?
Yeah.
No, I mean those I was borrowing.
Under your mattress. It was like all the little dirty drawings.
All of them?
I mean, all the ones I found, I put in the box.
Yeah, that
Ain't
probably.
nobody should see those.
Oh, you saw that one too, huh?
It is pretty raunchy stuff. But hey, no
Burn that.
shame in it. No shame in it. But
Why didn't you
yeah,
have
that
some cash, man?
some other stuff that I think that you got from your mom and pa.
Buried those in the same hole as the smut pile? Come on, man.
Yeah,
Feels wrong somehow.
everything that was under your bed is now in that box.
I'd like to roll a history check to try to
Go for
remember
it.
if there's anything I need.
Okay, go for it. You're good.
It's
Nothing-
used at
nothing.
20. Haven't thought about it this long.
Whatever's in there is gonna stay safe in there till you remember what it is.
If I need it, I'll find a shovel.
Alrighty then. With that, what after the kind of celebrations are over and such, you do kind of get word from Poe like you really should check in with Maz at some point. Besides that, anything that I can help you with? I could write a message to somebody.
If there's any members of Avalanche or Tsunami that remember that tiefling, we're trying to rebuild him.
Oh yes, there are indeed some that were not here during the Great Attack. Yes, I can get right on that for you.
Yeah. And there was a missing woman out east. I forget the town, but well, we found her, so I'm sure her family would want to know. And I'll give Poe the description of her, and potentially, if it was a missing poster, that she probably had her name, right?
Yeah, and I can't remember if you took the missing poster or
I did.
I feel like we
just
would
left
have.
it there. Okay,
Good.
so if you have it, then he could look at it and be like, okay, well, there's instructions here of who to contact if you find her or have any information about her, so sure, I could get on that for you if you'd like. If you're, too busy. What is going to keep you busy now?
I don't know. What is... Did we do it? I mean, what is... We were told that the Mind Flayer capital was destroyed. So, did they all... What about the other parts of the world? Are they gone? Are they weakened?
Oh, I'm sure there's still forces all around, but they're heavily weakened, and I believe that now's the best time ever for the Resistance to give a full-scale attack on whatever's left.
And they've got a dragon
luckily-
going after him too.
Oh, do they? Excellent.
They do. That's a thing. Don't worry about it.
Interesting. Curious how you know that. In any case, this area is already pretty well wiped clean, so we're kind of working on rebuilding. But there are elements of the Resistance that were scattered all around, and they were all working very hard, I'm sure, to fight off what's left.
Yeah, I think...
But if people years from now remember what the killing blow was the day that the Empire fell, I'm sure it will be the day that you got involved.
The day the Empire fell.
Yes, I believe that day has already passed now. I believe better days are ahead. There's still work to do, adventures to be had, but I believe you all have really... You have sealed the final blow, the true turning point. Where this war, we can claim victory.
If that is the case, I think now is as good a time as any. Ottawa's going to kind of turn to everyone and say, listen, so, no secret that I never really wanted to be a part of the fighting, the resistance. But I felt I really had no choice in that matter. To not participate was to allow evil and tyranny to reign. But with that said, I don't really have much of a home here now. I mean, in a literal sense, like my house burned down and my job was taken from me. That said, I got some gold from a generous benefactor and have set up my sister to be good in my disappearance, should anything happen to me. But that is to say, Hunter, you kind of inspired me when you said you were going to go with Ronan. I think I want to go and have an adventure of my own.
Oh yeah, what kind?
I feel like I've just begun my journey as an artificer, getting to use the technology of the Illithid. There's so much more out there. And I don't just mean here. I mean, Ag and Azar proved that we can go to different planes. That we can go anywhere. And I think that's what I want to do. I'm going to try and find a way to the elemental plane of fire. And I'm going to study and learn. And I'm going to become the best artificer there's ever been.
You can be the one that introduces the fire elementals to the art of brushing their teeth.
Might need to pick up some stronger bristle material.
And whenever you do decide to visit home, there will be a place to rest here. I already built a few altars last time, and I do need to check on those. But regardless, there's going to be a lot of rebuilding around here, and I did make a promise to the Becoming to build that temple. I can't think of a better place than the town that I still call home. So, if you need a place, a safe haven when you do return, there will be a spot. Not indoctrinating you, just offering a bed and care.
I appreciate that.
Opal's gonna be like, speaking of which, who here still has a home left? I currently don't, and I would like to stay. I don't want to immediately move in with my boyfriend.
I have a place for you, my darling.
Oh, is it not too much trouble?
I won't be using it.
Oh, good.
I
Okay.
think the kids are still staying out in the Kami house or whatever's left of that, so...
No, I really want to do this relationship right with this guy, and I don't want to move in too quick, because we've been separated for a while. Now we're coming back, and I want to kind of ease into it. Maybe I'll even only be in your place for like a few weeks, but it'd be helpful for the transition. I really appreciate it.
All the time you need.
And if it doesn't go well, you know who to call to tell him to scram.
Yeah.
Speaking of veiled threats, Opal, if Iron Pan doesn't pay up 40% every month,
Hunt
Contact
him
me.
down and kill him.
Okay.
just
sure.
just let any one of us know, and we'll persuade him.
Okay, good. Sounds good.
I won't be very far.
All right. Cool. So, Kamira, you're not going to be staying in the house?
No, at a minimum, I have my childhood home. It's out in the woods a spell, but no, I started some things for some groups of people, and then I dropped them all. So I will also not be here, hopefully. Perhaps.
Okay. With that, we have two kind of major directions to go in, I believe. We have Mazadon and his lamp, and we have Kamira and her family. Which
Can I do
direction would you like to
one
go
thing?
in? Yeah,
Can I
sure.
do one thing before we go?
Yep.
Anwar would like to go where his house was.
Sure.
And looking over the wreckage, what does it look like?
Yeah, it looks completely burned down. If there was like a chimney or any other kind of things that were like made of brick, they would still be standing, but everything else is totally gone to ashes. You might, if you search through the remnants, you might find something. It's possible that some people have already looted a little bit, but you might be able to find something, some kind of gold trinket or something left over.
I'll do an investigation to see if there's anything left there.
All right.
Oof, not a good day. Maybe distracted.
Not a good day. You look around and I'll say that you find a piece of something. Hard to tell what it was. Maybe a spoon.
Yeah. I think given that, as Anwar has done in the past, probably in the backyard, a little ways away, he's going to build 2 pyres for when someone dies or is killed, either directly or indirectly, by a Janazi. He builds 2 small pyres for his parents. And he's going to take some of the ashes from his home and fill it in a little glass vial and kind of put it in a necklace and put it on around his neck.
Okay.
To remember where he came from.
With that, anything else in this area?
Poe offered to do like messages and sendings and stuff like that. If I could just
Yep.
get a message to Keone asking her to like, if we like have an idea of where we are in the next couple of days or soon,
Mhm.
like establish a meeting point, ask her to Keone to show up alone.
Do you know where Luke's cave is? We could be there within 2 days.
You can try that. Wait, who's we? Kion
Me-
only.
Me, Jeff, Luke, Arantis, and Dad.
Alone. I want. Tell her I want to meet like alone.
Oh, alone. Yes, okay, I understand.
But does she? Poe, you
Yeah,
ask her.
yeah,
You ask her
yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
She understands, and she will meet you alone.
I swear to God, I'll ground her. That's all I got.
Alrighty. So yeah, she can meet you over at Luke's place, unless you had a different place you had in mind.
Like probably not right there, like exactly, but like maybe a mile
Okay.
or two or out.
Okay. With that, so if that's in like a couple days, are you guys going to Maz first?
Probably
Or are you doing
sooner
something
the
else?
Better.
Alright.
Distribute
so-
some gold before we go.
Okay.
I'm gonna distribute 300 gold throughout the town for like rebuilding efforts, and
Okay.
then drop 100 gold at the farm to keep Tucker in good sorts.
Alright. So we're now 2 days after the Tarask, after the fall of the Empire. Word has definitely been spreading. People are starting to get more news about it all. And you hear from Poe that Mazadon is way up, held up in the bold north in his native place, which you've only been to once before, kind of off screen before the last big time skip. And the last time you went there, you were explaining shit too, like, hey, we just made this deal with Cerebro.
It's never been good, really, when we've talked to Maz.
Yeah.
No, it's never good.
So, if you want to go up there, you totally can.
Yep.
Let's see if I can just make this real big lake. Can I bring this to the...
How are we getting up there? We taking the ship?
I assume that's what you're doing.
See
if you're
why
getting
not?
if you're getting there in one day,
Cloaking, please, invisible.
We can. We don't even need to do that. We can just teleport circle back to the ship, have the ship teleport us there.
Yep.
Just like use it as a waypoint, essentially.
Okay,
Go ahead. Yep.
sure.
yeah, you go.
With the squid. Well,
So yeah, you can use it as a waypoint. You get teleported back up to the temple of Stegodonis, and yeah, there you can meet Mazadon, who is surrounded by a ton of his woolly Loxodon crew. What's your take on how you're approaching this when you go to him?
I have 133 blood.
Okay, all right.
and one bomb.
I think Ronan took my other bombs. So I don't know if I have.
Yeah. He used the littler bomb to ignite the big bomb.
You guys sound like you were having fun, so I was like, yeah, take it. It's not gonna get used. No, I
Was a good
regret
time. Wish you were there.
it.
I think we're just gonna cut to him being like, I don't know whether to trust you or whether to celebrate you
Either.
or to question everything and destroy you.
Not that one. Don't do
I
that.
don't. I am so confused how you are always able to do these things. My understanding is you had some kind of help from an Efreeti?
Yeah, relative,
Family. Mm-hmm.
family contacts.
Explain yourselves. Why you would be so reckless to open a genie from his bottle.
Reckless. Well, you know, this whole
But it
thing's
took,
been kind of a
right?
gamble, right? You know, we get these things, we get these options, we get our cards, and we got to figure out how to play them. And Them squids were real good. Real good. Didn't give us a lot of time to think, to communicate. They had us all scattered a bunch of times. So, that was, that whole genie trick was kind of just another leap of faith. And, it panned out. Didn't, it had its downsides, but we got here,
The long and
I'm
short
gonna-
of it is that Cerebro was going to become a Tarask.
Yeah.
He was going to become literally unkillable. So we needed to make some plays. Some big plays. We risked everything. And in the process, we took out Cerebro, we took out the Tarask, and we took out the Mind Flayer Capital.
And we got a cool new car.
Got a real.
I don't tell him about that part. He doesn't need to know about that part.
No, he doesn't need that.
Don't need to know that.
All right, I'm gonna introduce you to my zone of truth, and he's gonna like bring in a bunch of his big ass dudes to make a circle around you all. The zone of truth
Gang
is
of truth.
you tell the truth, or we beat you to death. Now you tell it to me true now.
I wish I still had my bomb.
Is Cerebro really dead? Or is he using you now? And they're all gonna look at you with so much insight. They're just
Super
like, you
fucking
can
dead.
tell from every angle they are scanning you up and down.
Super fucking dead.
Is there anything we could have taken from the ship? Because we never got Cerebro's body, but either a piece of the Tarask, which I imagine is hard to tear off, but like any kind of trinket or any kind of proof.
of his brain?
Hunter being the rogue onto the getting into the underground or the underwater city.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you might have stolen while you were on there?
You need to tell me a little bit about their like architecture, their like decor stylings.
Honestly, you can make up whatever shit you want. You know what Illithid shit is like.
I think I swiped someone's like desk plaque.
Okay.
Mr. Manager.
And it's in totally alien writing. So is that what you show for the desk plaque?
Yeah, it's like I was gonna smack a dude with it, but got teleported before I could. It's the only thing that isn't in the bottom of the ocean there.
You're
in
telling
all
me
bits.
that you destroyed this. All you've got to show for it is a fucking desk plaque.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Pick up pieces of it, stick it in a bag, and carry the whole dang headquarters with me? We blew it
did-
up.
Go in with the sole intention of like blowing the thing to high hell and
I
back.
was in and out. The fact that I took this, that technically wasn't. This is contraband. Wasn't supposed to have this.
We could scry on the Capitol and just show them what it looks like now, aka destruction.
We've been there.
Yeah, we've all been there
Sure.
from when we were underwater with the Tarask.
The giant mirror.
Yeah. Well, it's not giant anymore. We got a more portable version.
Oh, that's right.
But yeah.
Let's do it. Let's show him.
Yeah. You know, Maz, we could talk about it all day, or you could just take a look if you want. We
Please, by all means, show me.
can do, and I will pull it up, and yeah, I will cast scrying, and I will show him. I mean,
Yeah, what looks
Richard-
like you just see
yeah,
the rest of
will
a
you show me?
completely like cratered out, destroyed, underwater. So you're like, there's a whole bunch of nothing. How many times
Yeah.
can you do this in a day?
I mean, to be fair, we were out for a week. We were unconscious for a while, so could have
Can
done
you
a lot
do this
more.
one more time, Audra?
Can I show you something else?
Yeah, I want to see the body of that dead Tarask.
The bottom of the deep blue sea.
Yeah, we would have all dropped it off, right? So the spot in the Cold Bay where it's located, Or wait, sorry, that's
Well,
where
I
we're
think-
hiding the
I'd
ship.
like to,
Yeah.
Where's the
I'd
spot?
like to roll insight on.
Audra mixes them up and just
Yeah.
It would be in the bottom of the ocean,
Yeah.
somewhere in the Leviathan Sea.
I think if you can scry on places, you can scry on objects, and a
Right.
Jurassic body is definitely an object.
That's what I'm
now.
saying. Is like we were all present when we dropped it off, so she knows where to plant the
Like-
scry. Basically, is what I mean.
Going
I
to
know
see
it's not
the
a great
Titanic
roll,
without the
but
risk.
like, I do want to. That for some reason tickled me a little funny.
Okay.
Is it suspicious that he wants to see the body of a Tarask?
No, because he was a part of the group that tried to fight it as it was making its way into the ocean. So
oh, he's
he,
mad.
he finds it
We
extremely
did it.
he finds it unbelievable that anybody was able to take down this thing.
Let alone us assholes.
Yeah. While simultaneously killing Cerebro and blowing up the Capitol.
Yeah, all of that together.
Oh,
I'm sure
man.
like if you're able to show him that and he looks at it, he sees the big head hole area and it matches up with your story about how the brain was kind of exposed and that's how you were
Yeah.
able to kind of get a vulnerability on it. It starts to all click in together. He's
Yeah.
gonna say, okay.
I scry on the corpse. I guess that's what's happening.
All right. In that case, I only got one question left. What the fuck happened to your genie? Because now, you saved the day for now, but you awakened such a powerful beast that it may come back to destroy us all. You may have doomed us all. What became of him?
He went home.
Home to regather forces? To take over the Prime Material for himself?
I think he's retiring, actually.
I think he's stretching his legs. I plan on, well, I hope to speak to him again soon, but when we went to speak to him, to consider using him, we peered into his mind, and we found out what led him to him becoming the genie that he was. And we understood it, and we took a risk, but I think ultimately that risk paid off. And even once we were no longer in a position to threaten him, he decided to leave, to not associate himself with the affairs of the Prime Material anymore. He felt he had interfered enough.
Go ahead and roll persuasion on that. And if anybody wants to grant advantage backing him up on that, you can do that too.
I will gladly do that.
Does he want to insight that?
Yep, he does want to inside that.
Um, 22.
All right. You took a big gamble. Our people are known to be steady, to hold down our forts. We did not have what it took to do what you did. You are bold. You are reckless. And you have saved us all. For that, we owe you thanks. And they're all gonna start pounding their chests a bit. Say, to the heroes of whatever the hell you call your place. Speaking of, last I heard it was in ruin, and no one has officially laid claim to it yet. Will you seek to take it for yourselves, or will you give it to the people?
Pretty sure it was always for the people.
Yeah, as far as we're concerned, it's in the hands it's always been in.
Good.
in independent city-state.
Good, good, good.
And don't forget, you owe us thanks. You also owe me that duel, or I owe you that duel. So
Well, I should be going now.
I've been
If
working
you
on.
want to have it, we can.
I've been working on some new tricks. So once we both recover from our respective wars, we'll do this thing.
There actually is something, Audra, I wanted to speak to you about privately.
She looks at his gang of truth around them.
The gang
Privately?
of truth, kind of looking all around, is kind of dispersing, and they are preparing for another feast!
Oh hell!
Oh yeah.
Well,
my
we
God.
just ate.
Nonsense, you will eat! We are celebrating! Things have finally calmed down, and the Loxodon may finally be free to expand a bit further and not have to clench on the forest of North.
All right. I'll open another bottle. Let's do this.
You know this feast is like twice the size too because it's.
Oh
them,
yeah,
you know?
no, it's fucking huge.
Oh man.
Eventually while people are kind of scattered and such, Macedon's gonna take Audra aside and say, "Listen, since I was young, I dedicated my life's mission to preserving the Loxodon people
Mhm.
and to allowing for one day for them to regrow their numbers and let us regain what we have lost thousands of years ago. It has been a long time since my people flourished, but I think it is time for some of us to reclaim our lands and come back. Now that there are many lands that need occupying, it seems that this is an opportune time to do it in a peaceful way. You come from a long line of Furbolg. I am not sure if you are aware of your history, that the Furbolg and the Loxodon go back as some of the most ancient people of the far north. Would you join me in the efforts to make sure that the lands are good for those indigenous peoples to return and to repopulate without interference of those who may seek to claim these lands for their own kingdoms and empires?
Well, I'll tell you this. I need to build a temple back in Riverbed, and I could use some very strong, skilled laborers to help set that all up. So perhaps we can
Absolutely,
help each
absolutely.
other.
We could indeed, but if you are going to be a part of what we are building, I believe a certain title should be distributed to you.
I've only ever been known as Audra, but shoot, what is it?
Henceforth, and not at all because some people have been mentioning it for a while ever since our arm wrestle, but henceforth I believe we shall spread amongst the people that you are one of the big four.
And she'll do like, since we're feasting, she'll do like the, like choke on the whatever meat she's eating kind of move. So that's expanding too, huh?
I think it's about time we did, yes. And if Lopa has a problem with it, we can always go back to the big three. You can settle that amongst yourselves.
Well, like I told you, I've been working on some new strategies of my own. Actually, in a non-combat setting, would you like to see one of those things I've been working on?
Is it like a party trick? Because we're about to have a party!
Sure.
Let's see it then.
All right. So what to like kick off the party, she will cast this is a different 6th level spell she's casting. Called Otherworldly Form. It's got a whole bunch of stuff that it can do, But essentially, she will. You can think of it as like almost like the capstone paladin thing, where they just go like Super Saiyan. It's essentially a spell that lets her do that and like have like her own like angelic form with like the wings and everything. So yeah, she's gonna cast that to transform her appearance. It's just for a minute, but you know, that's long enough to make a speech or something like that. And not that we're getting into a fight, but it does all of that cool stuff. So that's what she'll do while she's making her speech, is look powerful like that.
Alrighty. So it's with that especially, there's another night of fun and drinking and feasting and dancing and reveling in all sorts of ways. Anything else anybody wants to do here before we jump over to Chimera meeting up with her daughter?
Do they have yarn and textile stuff I could use?
Yeah, they sure do.
Thank God!
Yep, they got all sorts of stuff.
That's literally all she's working on then. Like, oh, thank you. It's grabbing a plate, being like, haha, thanks, and then, like, weaving.
You got a shy one over there, I see.
I mean, because I think I had, what, like 2 weeks to work on this thing? Like 2 weeks?
I don't
3 weeks,
remember what
maybe?
it was.
It was not a long time frame, and I was like, sure. And time has passed.
She's like, ah!
This goddess is
You know,
gonna
the
roll
assignment
up.
for the night before it's due.
The goddess is gonna roll up and be like, where's my fucking tapestry? And I'm gonna be like,
I gave you a
"Sorry."
nuke. Where's my fucking tapestry?
I gave you 2 weeks to make a tapestry. Where is it?
I was gone.
All right. So with that, I think we'll jump over to the next day. We're now all the way to the end of the month on the 30th. Where you can is this what you do next? You teleport over to the caves way over near the Iron Root Mountains area to meet up with Keon?
Like to.
Okay. So you go ahead and do that. When you teleport, how would you like to set this up? With you there and then she meets you, or is she already there and you like bamf in and she's right there?
I think I'd like to just bamf in.
Okay. You bamf in and there she is. And is it just you? Did you want to go alone?
Like to, and that being said, if somebody else has some shit they need to do, by all means get the shit done. Okay.
Alright, so Chimera's doing that while people kind of go off and take care of some of their own shit. We can cut to that in a second, but Chimera, you go to the cave and you meet up with Keon is alone. She just kind of looks around like, oh, I'm Supermom. I'm still kind of at a loss as to what's going on. Is everything okay? Have you been able to fight the
Cerebro's dead.
Cerebro?
The Tarask is dead. The capital's been exploded. Very thoroughly exploded.
That's
So
good.
I think it's all finally done.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Oh, that's good. So we can go home? We can go home, right?
Yes, but the young lady that was trying to take over you.
Yeah, I'm still kind of half her.
Yeah. Well, she did so out of deep desperation, and it was to a situation that I either caused or created.
Yeah, I've kind of checked in a couple times there, and it's not good.
Which is why You can go home. I would like to do my best to see that situation resolved, as it was something that I helped create.
How are you gonna do that? I mean, I don't know what's going on here, but over there, Cerebro attached himself to some freaking crazy ancient kaiju monster thing, and
Yep.
he's practically a god now. I can't see how anyone could beat him. I was kind of wondering if it wouldn't be better to just prune the timeline.
Destroy it.
I mean, you made it, right? You explained to me once it had something to do with changing a decision you made. If you undid that, wouldn't you stop the entire timeline from existing?
Pathetically, but I believe that would take going back in time to undo that choice.
It all gets a bit complicated, I guess. I'm just curious, if you go, what does this mean? Are you coming back?
It's always going to be the goal.
I don't know how you're gonna do it, but you did it here, so I guess maybe it's possible.
I've
But
seen it a
it-
lot in the past 2 weeks. People coming and going through planes of existence, losing time. I think at this rate anything is possible, but I want to try.
Try and make that timeline better. If you get really close to death, will you just snap out, come right back here? You don't have to die there.
The intent, I'll bail, sure.
Okay, good, because I need you to come home. Jeff needs you, I need you, Luke needs you. We really need you to come home.
But also you're sharing some space with somebody who has an entirely different family. People who are left behind.
Yeah, she's kind of in a coma in the other place, because I kind of left her behind.
Fixed.
If you go, I'm coming with you. You can't do it alone, Mom. You had all these people here. You don't have them in the other... Not most of them, anyway.
Right.
If you go, Heiko, I'm not losing you again. And if we can both bounce back into this body, then... I mean, I guess the risk is more limited. So what do you say? Are we doing this together?
I think so.
Okay. Alright.
I
do you
dislike
wanna-
it, to be clear. I dislike the idea of you coming. However, you kick total ass. So,
Thanks. You do too, Supermom.
I'm a level 12, so...
I don't know what that means, but I hope to be there too someday. I've
What
just
level
kind of
is
been I think she's still 10 or 11. She's been camping out.
Okay.
She hasn't done anything in a while,
She's
so...
not a level 5 though, so that's
No.
good. Yeah, you could totally come then.
Okay. When are we doing that? I guess sooner the
I
better.
would like to go as soon as possible. It's just finding the means to do it.
I guess we just sit here and lay down and meditate, and then go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I guess I'll see you on the other side then.
See you on the other side.
And Chimera and Keone lay down and go off to another place and have another adventure that maybe would be explored in one shot someday, but it's not an adventure that we'll see right now.
The darkest timeline. Though I feel bad
Basically-
for them, because Chimera's
Chimera's-
gonna go full Doom
Chimera-
mode.
Chimera's going into New Game Plus. That's what's happening.
All right.
This is gonna be
So in Shadow Universe, worst timeline, Hunter's still there, still an orphan, but he's like full Cockney shithead, like real
Notice then.
mean son of a bitch. Never got adopted at all, and he's like making it everyone's problem.
You're making it everyone's problem.
I'd have to check.
Yeah.
I need to see. Hunter might have died. That might already be
There's a couple people
part of
that
the
were
canon.
already
I'm
fucking
I'm
dead.
j-
Anwar's
for
dead.
me it's flipped.
Yeah.
I'm dead, but my sister's alive. I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Let's see
that's
if I
one of
can
them.
find it. This was the last thing that I put down here. Yeah,
Alright.
Hunter's dead. Arantis was unknown. Aura was
Fine.
alive. Keone was alive. Luke was dead. Anwar's dead. Yep.
It's fine.
Rain's
Yeah, it'll
probably
be fine.
still with the Empire.
Probably.
Probably. So we just gotta go recruit her for that.
Whoa,
We need
Either
some
that-
magic.
Either that or she ran off on her own and she's doing something with Clementine somewhere.
So what you're
Yeah.
saying is this is Aberrant Empire's what if?
Yeah. Alrighty. So with that, we have Kiara going off on her adventure. I guess now is kind of the time for everybody to say, what is your epilogue for each of your characters? Kiara goes off on an adventure. If Kiara would like to,
Chimera.
sorry, I'm getting mixed up. Chimera.
Oh, how bad does
Could-
it look?
I was gonna say it looks really bad when you get over to the other. I guess we'll leave that up to a mystery of what happens there. But either way, you're able to get back at some point.
And I finish the tapestry, and I give it to her before she decides to kill me. Either way.
It's a good plan. Chimera, anything else that you would like to add for your epilogue? It could be short term, could be years later.
I think it's making sure that Jeffrey has a home. It's going to be Cammy House with Gregor. Making sure that Sorsha's comfortable in her place, whether that's going to be at Inger's old house or not. And then maybe making sure that, like, I have that fucking ice temple, but nobody's gonna use the ice temple. Maybe it's extending that over to Maz's people as a new, safe haven place, and just being like, hey, avoid this room until you can magic it out. Like, whatever. Yeah, so I guess that's just mainly dispersed in letters that show up intermittently before or over time, before she vanishes and everything like that, or when she's gone, they're dispersed. But yeah,
Alright. Anybody else want to give kind of what their epilogue they would like to be? Any other loose ends or things that they would like to say their characters do over the course of their lifetimes?
Well, Audra definitely is going to build that temple, like she promised, with the help of the with the Loxodons, and then we'll help them in their part in the north, settling and using some of that new wisdom. And then also she made 8 total like special weapons throughout this campaign for various reasons, either to give to somebody or to commemorate an event, something like that. And in my brain, I have this like fantasy of like somewhere in the future of this world, those weapons are like the Daedra artifacts or something. They're like these like 8 ancient weapons that are like, you know, kind of scattered throughout the world that have all been made by this one particular person. Yes, the Daedra artifacts, perfect. The Daedra artifacts.
Anybody else have anything?
The plan was always to finish up with this mission and retire to the farm, and, you know, live peaceful, maybe play mayor of Riverbed. But Hunter has so much anger in him. He's not ready for that. He wants to want it, but he's not ready. So he's gonna keep on, go find some more squids to kill, and he's just gonna keep fighting and fighting. And
Yeah, it doesn't take long. Sorry, I was just gonna say it doesn't take long before Ronan starts whispering in your ear again, like, "Hunter, there's more squids. I can take you to them. We can kill them real good."
Yeah, I think in reality, like, Hunter sulks in a bottle on the farm for like 3 days before Ronan calls him out of retirement. And last Hunter is seen, he's jumping through a fiery portal with Ronan, and who knows?
I think in a similar vein, Rain, all she's ever known is combat and fighting, because like she doesn't have her own identity. She's 6 different people that were put into one. And I didn't think about this until after I realized that the Illithid Nautiloid was just going to be a thing. She's going to essentially become like War Batman, where she goes and fights squid and helps people out, and then returns to the Nautiloid. And like, if people ever like visit or need the Nautiloid to get anywhere, like they would notice like, oh, there's like tables and like beds in here now, and like she's just made it a little safe haven for her and whenever you guys need anything. But
Just
like
saying,
she
Hunter
appears.
figured out how to pilot it, and you know how to work all the gizmos.
Hunter is one of the few people that she has a direct connection to because of the book, so
Ronan can run around doing maintenance. I think, yeah. I think that
little
works.
Nautiloid hit squad.
And what do each of you do on a day? Like, at first it's like, for the next couple months, you've got like squids kind of on the regular you're able to find and stuff. And it becomes a thing where like it only like once every few years another one pops up, and it's like, oh hey, there's another one that's around. Do you just kind of over time, like, what do you do as it becomes few and far between that one rears, you know, one of the last remaining ones rears its heads?
I think for Rain, she's always like, she sees herself as the freedom fighter. She would continue doing the vigilante thing. Like, hey, if Lopa gets uppity, somebody's got to be there to stop him, you know? If
Step out of
others-
line, teleport to ocean. Not pay your taxes, teleport to ocean.
I don't know about that second one.
Teleport to ocean.
But yeah, I mean, like, we stopped the world from ending. And if something else is just gonna happen, like, what was the point? Like, the constant protectors of the world.
Anybody else got any epilogue stuff? I think it's just Ryan at this point.
Yeah, so I think having fixed the mental state of his sister and having set her up with a decent amount of income, he feels that at last what's left of his family is well and taken care of, so he doesn't feel guilty about pursuing his own wants and his own interests. In the days after that, taking that nice chunk of money that he got from a Flash Iron Pan that I assume he paid out,
Yes, he did.
he's going to buy the supplies he needs, and hopefully with Hunter and Rain's assistance, he's going to go and start looking for the last known location of a portal to the elemental plane of fire, which was in the deep, deep south in a desert of a city that was once inhabited by fire genasi before the original invasion of the Mind Flayers. So I imagine using old books and maps and stories and things that he's collected and found through his travels. Flying in a nautiloid over a desert is a lot easier than walking in one.
Hmm.
So I imagine, assuming he was able to find said portal, he would eventually say goodbye to his friends, to his family, to everyone who helped them there. And then with a big satchel and bags filled with tools and supplies, he would step through the portal to begin the next step in his training to become a master artificer.
Hey Ryan, can I ask you one question about that?
What's that?
So this is in like a desert area, right?
I imagine so.
So does Anwar have his suit of armor and then one of those hooded
Oh,
cloaks
you
over
best
top?
believe it. You know he got that armor on and a big old cloak going over it, blowing in the wind.
And so, this is what happened to each of your people. Or, at least that's how it's told. We're gonna cut to many years later with an old Arantis with children all around him. And he's going to say, and so it became a matter of choice. Either they choose the easy thing and let them succumb to the fate that was decided by others, or they chose the hard thing and forged their own destiny. And this is something that each of you little ones will have to do in your own lives. It has been hundreds of years since this world has seen empires, but they could crop up again at any moment, needing little ones like you to make the tough choice and forge your own destinies. And one of the little kids is a little Loxodon kid sitting next to a little Furbolg kid and a little Tiefling kid. The little Loxodon kid's like, so did they live happily ever after? And he's not really being mindful of how you would speak to a little kid and simplify the story. He's like, well, it's far more complicated than that. They had many ups and downs. They learned to love more people who they lost, and they ended up dying slow and agonizing deaths as people do, and one of them, I believe, died rather suddenly. But you know, if I were to do the calculations, if I could add up all of their happiness and all of their sorrows, yes, I think they lived happily ever after. And that's it. That's the campaign.
Wow.
I like to think that there's a Cheshire cat thing that appears and it's Clementine. He's like, you're terrible at telling this story.
I almost was like, I would go hit up Arantis. I bet he'd want to come with me. He'd probably want to do this adventure. But I'm like, maybe a being of wood probably wouldn't do well in a plane of fire. Maybe we just
Probably not.
It's a cool
ask
place you
him,
got
like,
here
"Hey,
on
you wanna go
Warp.
up to the plane of fire?" And he's like, "No."
Anwar, look at me. I am made of wood.
Or he steps in. He steps in, catches fire. Just I have to go back. I have to go back now.
This is a bad idea.
Oh no.
Oh no, did we lose Andrew?
I think so.
It was.
Oh,
It wasn't a
Hear the
connection
last
thing. It was
frame.
an audio thing. He said he couldn't hear the last thing you said for some reason.
Oh no.
I think he was trying to talk, but I didn't hear
yeah.
him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just an audio
Oh.
thing. But
Oh no, he missed the very last part. I feel bad.
No.
oh, there he is.
Oh,
Hey, welcome back.
hey. Yeah, Rich.
Missed the last part. Well,
the
basically,
last
he
fucking
said.
sentence. The sound cut off.
He just said they lived like of all the calculations of all of their sorrows and pains and happinesses. Yes, ultimately they did live happily ever after.
Oh.
Mm. Yay. Well, we did another one of these.
Sorry, I don't have a long edited out end credits thing like last time.
No, I think
But,
I'll.
Life is different than it was then. I actually have
Yeah.
a life now.
All right. I will.
I have a wife and I have a life. So.
I will. I'll play the. I'll play the animation Ryan made again as the actual final thing when we go out.
Sure.
Which is now?
Yeah, which will be now. So
All
bye
right.
everyone. We'll be
It's
back with
been a
more stuff.
pleasure,
But
y'all.
yay.
Bye.
Bye.
Now the camera's off. Good. I never liked working with any of you.
Wow. It all comes